Welcome to the Cat's Notebook. Ahead of us lies a fascinating journey through the most grandiose works ever constructed by humanity. Today, we will explore the wonders of the ancient world. From the enigmatic pyramids of Giza, which still dominate the Egyptian skyline, to the majestic Lighthouse of Alexandria, which illuminated the paths of sailors in antiquity. 7 wonders that, although some have disappeared into the mists of time, continue to inspire awe and admiration. But did you know there are other structures that also deserve a place on this list? Structures that, though not included in the original list, are equally impressive and have left an indelible mark on history. Today, we will discover not only the 7 most well-known wonders but also other buildings that could be considered true marvels of antiquity. What happened to these incredible structures? How did they withstand, or not, the test of time? Join us, as we unveil the mysteries and legacy of these wonders of the ancient world. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let's begin this journey into the past. Our first stop takes us to Spain, where one of the lesser-known jewels of Roman engineering stands, the Alcantara Bridge. Built between 104 and 106 AD, during the reign of Emperor Trajan, this imposing stone bridge was a feat of Roman engineering. The Alcantara Bridge was designed by the architect Gaius Julius Caesar, who dedicated it to eternity, as an inscription on the bridge itself reads. It rises above the Tagus River, connecting the Roman province of Lusitania with the city of Norba Caesarina, which we now know as Caceres. Its purpose was clear: to ensure the passage of troops, merchants, and supplies, strengthening Roman control over the region. Throughout the centuries, the bridge has witnessed numerous conflicts. It was partially destroyed and restored several times, especially during the Middle Ages and the War of Spanish Succession. Despite these challenges, the Alcantara Bridge has withstood the test of time and still stands, a silent testament to the durability and ingenuity of Roman engineering. Today, the Alcantara Bridge is not only still in use, but it is also a symbol of the rich history that has shaped the region. It is a wonder that, though less known, deserves its place in history as one of the great works of the ancient world. We now delve into the depths of the earth, to a place where history and mystery intertwine, the underground city of Derinkuyu, in the region of Cappadocia, Turkey. This incredible underground city was excavated thousands of years ago, though its exact origins remain a mystery. It is believed that the first galleries were built by the Hittites around the 8th century BC, but it was during the Byzantine period, in the 6th and 7th centuries AD, that Derinkuyu reached its maximum expansion. With the capacity to house up to 20,000 people, Derinkuyu was not just a temporary refuge. It was a true underground city, with homes, warehouses, stables, schools, churches, and even wineries. All built underground, in a complex system of tunnels and chambers that descend up to 85 meters. But why build such a complex city underground? The answer lies in the need for protection. Derinkuyu was primarily used as a refuge against invasions and attacks, offering a safe hideout for thousands of people during times of conflict. The city was ingeniously designed. It had a ventilation system that ensured the flow of fresh air to all areas, as well as water wells and access to essential resources. Additionally, the entrances could be blocked with enormous circular stones to prevent enemies from penetrating its interior. Over the centuries, Derinkuyu was abandoned and rediscovered several times. Its last major reappearance was in 1963, when a local resident, while renovating his house, discovered a hidden room that led him to the vast underground labyrinth. Today, the underground city of Derinkuyu is an impressive testament to the skill and ingenuity of ancient civilizations. Although it no longer serves as a refuge, it continues to captivate all who venture into its depths, gradually revealing the secrets of its ancient inhabitants. Our next destination takes us to Indonesia, where an architectural and spiritual marvel rises, the Borobudur Temple, a masterpiece of Buddhist art. Built in the 9th century AD, the Borobudur Temple was erected during the reign of the Sailendra dynasty. It is a magnificent monument that reflects the grandeur of Buddhism in its era. This temple was constructed with thousands of volcanic stone blocks and is composed of 6 square terraces and 3 circular terraces, culminating in a large central stupa. Its design reflects Buddhist cosmology, symbolizing the spiritual journey towards enlightenment. Borobudur is not only impressive for its size and scale but also for its intricate reliefs and sculptures. More than 500 Buddha statues and 2,600 relief panels narrate stories of Buddha's life and Buddhist teachings, offering a rich visualization of the principles of Dharma. Over the centuries, the Borobudur Temple was abandoned and became covered by vegetation due to volcanic activity and the growth of the jungle. It wasn't until the 19th century that British colonists, under the direction of Sir Thomas Raffles, rediscovered the temple, initiating a long restoration process. In the 20th century, Borobudur faced new challenges, including the threat of erosion and the effects of nearby volcanic activity. However, through international conservation efforts, the temple has been restored and preserved, and in 1991, it was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Today, the Borobudur Temple remains an important pilgrimage site and a global tourist attraction. Its grandeur and cultural richness continue to inspire millions of visitors who marvel at its majesty and historical significance. We now head to northern England, where one of the most iconic defenses of the Roman Empire is located, Hadrian's Wall. Built between 122 and 128 AD, during the reign of Emperor Hadrian, this imposing wall marked the frontier of the Roman Empire in Britannia. Its construction was overseen by the emperor himself, who ordered its building to protect the Roman province from invasions by the barbarian tribes of the north. The wall stretched for about 117 kilometers, from Wallsend in the east to Bonus on Solway in the west. It was built using stone and brick and featured watchtowers, fortifications, and gates to control traffic and protect the Roman troops. Throughout its history, Hadrian's Wall served not only as a physical barrier but also as a symbol of Roman power in the region. The fortifications along the wall allowed soldiers to monitor and defend the frontier against incursions by northern tribes. Over time, as the Roman Empire weakened, the importance of the wall diminished. Hadrian's Wall began to be dismantled, with its materials repurposed for the construction of other buildings. Today, the wall has been recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and despite the damage it has suffered over the centuries, it remains an impressive testament to the ingenuity and ambition of the Roman Empire. Hadrian's Wall continues to fascinate those who visit it, offering a unique insight into Roman engineering and imperial power in Britannia. It is a monument that, despite the passage of time, still tells the story of an ancient frontier and the legacy of those who built it. Our next stop takes us to the ancient city of Rhodes, where a monumental statue once stood among the wonders of the ancient world, the statue of Athena Promachos. Constructed around 280 BC, the statue of Athena Promachos was erected by the sculptor Pythokritos of Rhodes. This imposing bronze statue, standing about 30 meters tall, was created to commemorate the victory of the Rhodians over the forces of Demetrius Poliorcetes, a Macedonian king. Athena Promachos, which means Athena who fights in the front line, was depicted with a spear and a shield, symbols of her role as a protector and warrior goddess. The statue stood on the Acropolis of Rhodes, serving not only as a symbol of victory but also as a powerful reminder of the strength and unity of the city. For centuries, the statue was a beacon of pride for the inhabitants of Rhodes. However, its existence did not last forever. In the late 3rd century AD, a devastating earthquake struck the island of Rhodes, causing severe damage to the statue. Despite repair efforts, the statue of Athena Promachos was eventually destroyed. Although it no longer stands, the statue left a lasting mark on history. Its grandeur and the effort devoted to its construction remain remembered as a testament to the art and engineering of the ancient world. Though it no longer graces the Acropolis of Rhodes, its legacy endures in the collective memory and in the descriptions of ancient writers and historians. Today, the statue of Athena Promachos lives on through history and archaeology, inspiring admiration for the ingenuity and dedication of its creators. It is a testament to the magnificence of the ancient sculptures that once adorned the world. Our next wonder takes us to the ancient lands of Peru, where one of the oldest structures on the American continent stands, the Pyramid of Caral. Built around 2600 BC, the Pyramid of Caral is the most prominent structure in the Citadel of Caral, one of the oldest civilizations in South America. This impressive monument is part of an architectural complex belonging to the Caral Soup civilization, known for its early development of architecture and social organization. The pyramid, constructed with large stone blocks and adobe, rises about 18 meters high and is one of 6 stepped pyramids that make up the site. This complex not only included the pyramid but also ceremonial platforms and administrative buildings. The primary function of the Pyramid of Caral was ceremonial. It is believed to have served as a center for worship and a meeting place for the elite of the Caral Soup society. Additionally, the complex was used for ritual and ceremonial activities, reflecting the complexity and advanced social structure of this ancient civilization. Despite its grandeur, the Caral site was abandoned around 1800 BC, possibly due to changes in climate or social structure. For centuries, the complex remained forgotten, covered by sand and vegetation. It was rediscovered in the 1940s and has been the subject of extensive research and excavation since then. Today, the Pyramid of Caral and the surrounding complex are recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and continue to provide valuable insights into one of the earliest complex civilizations on the American continent. The Pyramid of Caral remains an impressive testament to the ingenuity and sophistication of the ancient civilizations of South America. Through its study, we learn more about the early societies that laid the foundations of pre-Columbian history. Our journey now takes us to ancient Greece, where one of the most iconic cities of the Mycenaean civilization stands, the Citadel of Mycenae. Built around the 14th century BC, the Citadel of Mycenae was a major center of power during the Bronze Age. Founded by the Mycenaeans, a warrior and trading people, the citadel became a symbol of their influence and wealth. The site was originally fortified with massive stone walls, known as Cyclopean walls, due to the colossal size of the stone blocks, which gave the impression that they had been raised by giants. These walls enclosed a complex that included palaces, temples, and tombs. The Palace of Mycenae, the central structure of the citadel, was the home of the Mycenaean kings and the center of administration and ceremonial life. The impressive Lion Gate, one of the most recognized features of Mycenae, provided access to the palace and symbolized the power and protection of the city. Mycenae was also known for its royal tombs, such as the Tholos tombs, which were hill-shaped burial structures. These tombs, built with great skill, housed the remains of Mycenaean leaders and were filled with treasures that speak to the wealth and status of the Mycenaean elite. Despite its prominence, the Citadel of Mycenae began to decline around the 12th century BC, partly due to invasions, natural disasters, and changes in trade routes. The city was abandoned and fell into obscurity for centuries. Rediscovered in the 19th century by the archaeologist Heinrich Schliemann, Mycenae has been the subject of numerous excavations and studies. Today, the citadel is an important archaeological site and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, offering a fascinating glimpse into the Mycenaean civilization and its legacy in ancient history. The Citadel of Mycenae remains an impressive testament to ancient Greece, revealing the grandeur and power of one of the most influential cultures of antiquity. Our next wonder is located on the Dalmatian coast, in present-day Split, Croatia. We are talking about the impressive Diocletian's Palace, a masterpiece of Roman architecture. Built between 295 and 305 AD during the reign of the Roman Emperor Diocletian, this vast complex served as an imperial residence and a refuge for the emperor, who chose to retire here after abdicating power. The palace was designed by the architect Sophronius, following a plan for an imposing rectangular complex that stretched along the Adriatic coast. The palace included not only private residences for the emperor and his family but also a series of public and military facilities, such as a fortress, a temple, and several warehouses. Diocletian's palace was not only a luxurious residence but also a military fortress. Its imposing walls, towers, and reinforced gates were designed to protect the emperor and his court from any possible threat. After Diocletian's death in 313 AD, the palace was abandoned for a time and fell into ruins. However, in the 7th century, the local population began to repurpose the palace's structures, building houses and streets within its walls. This transformation turned the palace into the nucleus of the modern city of Split. Today, Diocletian's Palace is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the best preserved and most impressive examples of Roman architecture. Its ruins and the city that grew around it remain a testament to the grandeur of the Roman Empire and the adaptation and resilience of ancient structures. Diocletian's Palace continues to captivate visitors with its fascinating history and impressive architecture, offering a window into the splendor of ancient Rome and its enduring legacy. Now we head to the city of Segovia, in Spain, to explore one of the marvels of Roman engineering, the Aqueduct of Segovia. Built in the 1st century AD during the reign of the Roman Emperor Vespasian, the Aqueduct of Segovia is a masterpiece of engineering that still impresses with its grandeur and functionality. It is believed to have been designed by Roman architects under the emperor's rule, with the purpose of bringing water from the nearby mountains to the city of Segovia. The aqueduct, constructed with perfectly assembled granite blocks without the use of mortar, stretches for approximately 15 kilometers and spans the Clamars River Valley with its iconic rows of arches. Its system of channels and pipes transported water from the springs of the Sierra de Guadarrama to the city, providing a constant supply of fresh water for the population as well as for Segovia's public baths and fountains. Over the centuries, the aqueduct has suffered damage from earthquakes and the passage of time, but its structure has remarkably withstood the test of time. In the Middle Ages, the city continued to use the aqueduct, and in the 16th century, the architect Francisco de la Gueva carried out significant restorations to ensure its continued function. Today, the Aqueduct of Segovia remains one of the best preserved structures from the Roman world and an emblematic symbol of Roman engineering. In 1985, it was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it continues to attract thousands of visitors who are amazed by its elegance and functionality. The Aqueduct of Segovia is not only a marvel of ancient engineering but also a lasting testament to the skill and ingenuity of the Romans in solving technical challenges. Its imposing presence remains a source of pride for Segovia and a reminder of the enduring impact of Roman engineering on the world. Our next wonder takes us to the jungles of the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, where one of the most iconic structures of the Mayan civilization stands, the Pyramid of Kukulkan. Built around the year 1000 AD, the Pyramid of Kukulkan, also known as El Castillo, is the ceremonial center of the ancient city of Chichen Itza. It was erected by the Mayans and dedicated to Kukulkan, one of their principal deities, associated with the feathered serpent. The pyramid stands 24 meters high and is composed of 9 stepped levels, each representing a level of the Mayan underworld. In total, there are 365 steps, one for each day of the year, reflecting the advanced astronomical and mathematical knowledge of the Mayans. In addition to its function as a religious center, the Pyramid of Kukulkan had a highly sophisticated astronomical use. During the spring and autumn equinoxes, the play of light and shadows on the structure creates the illusion of a serpent descending the northern staircase, symbolizing the descent of Kukulkan to the earthly world. The pyramid and the city of Chichen Itza experienced a period of decline around the 15th century due to factors such as invasions and political changes. With the arrival of the Spanish conquistadors in the 16th century, Chichen Itza was abandoned and became hidden in the jungle. Rediscovered in the 19th century, the Pyramid of Kukulkan has been the subject of extensive excavations and restorations. Today, it is one of Mexico's top tourist destinations and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its impressive design and connection to astronomical cycles continue to amaze visitors from around the world. The Pyramid of Kukulkan is not only an architectural marvel but also a testament to the ingenuity and knowledge of the Mayan civilization. Its majesty and complex relationship with the cosmos remain a source of fascination and inspiration for all who visit it. Our next wonder takes us to the heart of ancient Greece, to a place where architecture and acoustics come together in perfect harmony, the Theatre of Epidaurus. Built in the 4th century BC, the Theatre of Epidaurus was designed by the architect Polykleitos the Younger, a master of classical architecture. Situated on a hillside in the region of Argolis, the theatre was erected as part of the sanctuary of Asclepius, the god of medicine and healing. The theatre is renowned for its impressive design and perfect acoustics. With a capacity for about 14,000 spectators, the auditorium is constructed in a semicircle with 55 rows of seats that gradually rise above the stage. The arrangement of the seats, along with the natural slope of the terrain, allows sound to travel clearly and crisply to all parts of the theatre. The Theatre of Epidaurus was not only a venue for dramatic performances but also a center of worship and celebration in honor of Asclepius. Festivals, dramas, and theatrical competitions were held there, attracting visitors from all over Greece. Over the centuries, the theatre has suffered damage from earthquakes and erosion, but it has undergone significant restorations and preservation efforts. In the 2nd century AD, it was restored by the Roman Emperor Hadrian, who also made improvements to the building. Today, the Theatre of Epidaurus remains one of the best preserved ancient theatres in the world. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and continues to be an active venue for theatrical performances, offering visitors the opportunity to experience the magic of Greek theatre in a historically authentic setting. The Theatre of Epidaurus is not only an architectural achievement but also a testament to the art and culture of ancient Greece. Its impressive design and perfect acoustics continue to inspire admiration and awe in all who have the privilege to visit it. Our next destination takes us to the ancient city of Halicarnassus, in what is now Bodrum, Turkey. There lies one of the most impressive funerary monuments of the ancient world, the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus. Built between 353 and 350 BC, the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus was erected in honor of Mausolus, a Persian satrap who ruled the region of Caria, and his wife Artemisia II, who oversaw the completion of the monument after Mausolus's death. This mausoleum became one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world due to its magnificence and innovative architectural design. The mausoleum was estimated to be about 45 meters tall and consisted of 3 levels, a rectangular base, a central tower-like structure, and a columned section at the top, crowned by a statue of the rulers riding a chariot drawn by horses. The structure was adorned with sculptures and reliefs depicting battle scenes and mythological figures. In addition to its function as a royal tomb, the mausoleum at Halicarnassus also served as a symbol of Mausolus's power and wealth and that of his dynasty. The sculptures and reliefs were created by some of the most renowned artists of the time, including Praxiteles, Scopas, and Bryaxis, who contributed to the ornamentation of the monument. The mausoleum suffered damage over the centuries due to earthquakes, especially during the Middle Ages, when its stones were reused in the construction of fortifications and other structures in the region. Today, what remains of the mausoleum are impressive ruins that continue to attract archaeologists and historians. Despite its destruction, the mausoleum at Halicarnassus remains a testament to the artistic skill and ambition of ancient architects and sculptors. Its legacy endures as a symbol of the wealth and grandeur of the ancient world, and its influence can be seen in subsequent tombs and monuments throughout history. The mausoleum at Halicarnassus continues to fascinate visitors and serves as a reminder of the greatness of ancient civilization and the lasting impact of its art and architecture. Our next destination takes us to ancient Olympia, Greece, where one of the most magnificent statues of the ancient world once stood in all its splendor, the statue of Zeus. Built between 435 and 432 BC, the statue of Zeus was created by the renowned Greek sculptor Phidias. This monumental sculpture was located in the Temple of Zeus at Olympia, one of the most important religious and sporting centers of ancient Greece. The statue, which stood approximately 12 meters tall, was primarily made of ivory and gold, materials that enhanced its impressive presence. Zeus was depicted seated on a throne adorned with intricate mythological scenes and sculpted figures. In his right hand, he held a figure of Nike, the goddess of victory, and in his left hand, a scepter adorned with gems. The statue of Zeus was not only an object of religious veneration but also a symbol of the greatness and power of Zeus, the king of the gods in Greek mythology. Its presence in the Temple of Zeus also served to attract pilgrims and participants to the Olympic Games, which were held on the same grounds. Unfortunately, the statue did not survive to the present day. In the late 4th century AD, with the advent of Christianity and the fall of the Roman Empire, the Temple of Zeus and its majestic statue were eventually destroyed. It is believed that the statue was moved to Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul, where it was destroyed in a fire in 475 AD. Today, the statue of Zeus at Olympia is known primarily through descriptions and artistic replicas that have survived to our time. Although the statue itself no longer exists, its legacy endures as a testament to the artistic talent of Phidias and the devotion of the ancient Greeks to their gods. The statue of Zeus remains a symbol of the majesty of ancient Greek art, reminding us of the greatness of an era where artistic skill and religious devotion came together to create truly memorable works of art. Our next wonder is one of the most iconic statues of the ancient world, a gigantic figure that once dominated the harbor of the island of Rhodes, the Colossus of Rhodes. Built between 304 and 292 BC, the Colossus of Rhodes was erected to commemorate the victory of the people of Rhodes over the Seleucid general Demetrius Poliorcetes. The statue, which depicted the sun god Helios, was designed by the Greek sculptor Chares of Lindos and funded by the city as a symbol of pride and gratitude. The Colossus of Rhodes stood at a height of approximately 33 meters, making it one of the largest statues of the ancient world. Made of bronze and constructed on a pedestal, the statue was so imposing that it was said its feet were placed apart at the entrance of the harbor, allowing ships to pass beneath its legs. The statue served not only as a monumental work but also as a symbol of Rhodes' resilience and power. Although the statue was erected with great celebration, its existence was relatively short. Only 56 years after its completion, in 226 BC, a devastating earthquake struck the island, causing the Colossus to collapse and break into pieces. Despite its fall, the Colossus of Rhodes remained an awe-inspiring landmark. For centuries, the remains of the statue lay on the ground and were visited by travelers from across the ancient world. Eventually, the remains were sold as scrap metal by Arab invaders in the 7th century AD, and the statue disappeared from sight entirely. Today, the Colossus of Rhodes exists only through descriptions and artistic representations, but its legacy as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world lives on. Its immense stature and grand design continue to inspire admiration and wonder, reminding us of the skill and ambition of the ancient Greek sculptors. The Colossus of Rhodes remains a lasting symbol of the greatness and audacity of ancient Greek civilization, a testament to what was possible when art and engineering came together to create something truly monumental. Our next destination takes us to the majestic city of Luxor in Egypt, home to one of the most impressive temples of ancient Egypt, the Temple of Luxor. Built between 1380 and 1340 BC during the reigns of pharaohs Amenhotep III and Ramses II, the Temple of Luxor is a splendid testament to the grandeur of Egyptian architecture. This temple was dedicated to Ammonius Ra, the main god of the city of Thebes, and served as an important religious and ceremonial center in ancient Egypt. The temple is designed along a longitudinal axis that extends from the entrance to the main sanctuary. At the entrance stands an imposing pylon, or monumental gate, flanked by 2 obelisks and a series of statues of Ramses II. As visitors advanced through the temple, they encountered a series of courtyards and halls, including the Great Hypostyle Hall, with its majestic columns decorated with scenes of gods and pharaohs. The Temple of Luxor was not only a center of worship but also a place of celebration during the Opet festival, in which the statue of Ammonius Ra was transported from the Temple of Karnak to the Temple of Luxor in a procession that brought the community together in festivities and rituals. Over the centuries, the temple has undergone various changes. In the Middle Ages, the temple was partially converted into an Islamic fortress, and many of its structures were repurposed for the construction of buildings in the city. However, in the 19th century, archaeologists began to rediscover and restore the temple, revealing much of its original splendor. Today, the Temple of Luxor is one of Egypt's most important tourist destinations and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its magnificence and history continue to amaze visitors, offering a window into the splendor of the ancient Egyptian civilization. The Temple of Luxor remains a lasting symbol of Egyptian art and architecture, a testament to the skill and devotion of the ancient Egyptians who built these colossal structures to honor their gods and pharaohs. Our next wonder takes us to the desert of Jordan, to a city that seems straight out of an archaeological dream, the City of Petra. Founded in the 6th century BC by the Nabateans, a Semitic Arab people, Petra became an important commercial and cultural center over the centuries. Located at a strategic point along trade routes between Arabia, Egypt, and the Levant, the city thrived on the trade of spices, incense, and other valuable goods. Petra is famous for its unique architecture, carved directly into the red sandstone cliffs surrounding the city. The most iconic structure in Petra is the treasury, or Al-Khazna, an imposing 40-meter-high facade carved into the rock and adorned with intricate details that showcase the craftsmanship of the Nabatean artisans. The design of Petra includes a complex system of channels and cisterns to collect and store water in an arid region, which allowed the city to flourish in the midst of the desert. In addition to its stunning architecture, Petra featured a theater, temples, tombs, and a range of public and residential buildings reflecting the sophistication of its society. From the 2nd century AD onwards, Petra's power began to wane due to changes in trade routes and the growing influence of the Roman Empire. Bedouin invasions and shifts in trade routes contributed to the city's gradual abandonment. Eventually, Petra was rediscovered in 1812 by Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, who revealed its existence to the Western world. Today, Petra is one of the most fascinating tourist destinations in the world and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its incredible beauty and rich history continue to attract visitors from around the globe, offering a unique glimpse into an ancient civilization that left an indelible mark on human history. The city of Petra remains a lasting testament to the skill and ingenuity of the Nabateans, as well as to humanity's ability to create wonders in the most unlikely places. Its legacy endures as a symbol of the grandeur of ancient civilizations and a reminder of the secrets still hidden in the most remote corners of the world. Our next wonder takes us to the ancient city of Ephesus, in present-day Turkey, where one of the grandest religious structures of the ancient world once stood, the Temple of Artemis. Built around 550 BC, the Temple of Artemis, also known as the Temple of Diana, was erected in honor of Artemis, the goddess of hunting and fertility in Greek mythology. The temple was designed by the Greek architect Chaeremon, and its construction was funded by the local tyrant Croesus, renowned for his wealth and generosity. The temple was a monumental structure, approximately 115 meters long and 55 meters wide, surrounded by a double colonnade that featured 127 Corinthian columns, each 18 meters high. The building was adorned with sculptures and reliefs depicting mythological scenes and divine figures, making it one of the most remarkable wonders of the ancient world. In addition to serving as a center of worship for Artemis, the temple also functioned as an important economic and cultural hub. It was a meeting place for the inhabitants of Ephesus and a pilgrimage destination for devotees from across Greece and Asia Minor. Its magnificence and wealth in art and architecture made it famous throughout the ancient world. Unfortunately, the Temple of Artemis did not survive to the present day. In 356 BC, it was destroyed by a fire intentionally set by a man named Herostratus, who sought to immortalize his name in history. Although the temple was quickly rebuilt, its splendor was never the same. During the 2nd century BC, the temple was again renovated and expanded, but its significance declined over time, especially with the rise of Christianity in Ephesus falling under Roman rule. Eventually, the temple was abandoned, and its materials were repurposed for other constructions. Today, only ruins remain of the Temple of Artemis, but its legacy endures as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Its grandeur and history continue to captivate archaeologists and visitors, reminding us of the greatness of one of the most influential cultures of antiquity. The Temple of Artemis in Ephesus remains a symbol of Greek art and architecture, a testament to the skill and devotion of a civilization that left a lasting mark on the history of the ancient world. Our next wonder is a lighthouse that once illuminated the nights of the ancient city of Alexandria, Egypt, and guided sailors through the treacherous waters of the Mediterranean, the Lighthouse of Alexandria. Built between 280 and 247 BC, the Lighthouse of Alexandria, also known as the Pharos of Alexandria, was erected on the orders of King Ptolemy II Philadelphus, one of the pharaohs of the Ptolemaic dynasty. The lighthouse was designed by the Greek architect Sostratus of Cnidus and became one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world due to its impressive size and sophisticated engineering. The lighthouse stood on an island off the coast of Alexandria and consisted of 3 tiers, a square base, an octagonal tower, and a cylindrical structure at the top. The lighthouse was estimated to be between 100 and 130 meters high, making it one of the tallest structures of the ancient world. At its peak, a large statue of Zeus or Poseidon, depending on the source, stood as a radiant beacon that guided sailors with a bright flame visible from miles away. The Lighthouse of Alexandria not only served as an essential guide for sailors but also as a symbol of the city's power and wealth. In addition to its practical function, the lighthouse was a masterpiece of engineering and architecture, using a blend of limestone and granite to withstand the weight and conditions of the Mediterranean Sea. Over the centuries, the lighthouse suffered damage from earthquakes and natural disasters. In 956 AD, a devastating earthquake caused the collapse of the structure, and the remains of the lighthouse were eventually abandoned. The site was later used to build a fortress in the 15th century by the Mamluks. Today, the Lighthouse of Alexandria exists only through historical descriptions and artistic representations. Although the lighthouse no longer stands, its legacy endures as a symbol of advanced engineering and the magnificence of ancient Egyptian civilization. The Lighthouse of Alexandria remains an impressive testament to human ingenuity and a reminder of how the ancient wonders of the world continue to amaze us with their achievements and history. Our next wonder takes us to the heart of ancient Egypt, to an institution that was once the epicenter of knowledge and wisdom in the ancient world, the Library of Alexandria. Founded in the 3rd century BC during the reign of Ptolemy Isoter, a pharaoh of the Ptolemaic dynasty, the Library of Alexandria was an ambitious project designed to gather and preserve the knowledge of antiquity. Its construction was part of a broader effort to turn Alexandria into a leading cultural and academic center. The library was not simply a single building, but a vast complex that included reading rooms, storage spaces for scrolls and manuscripts, and a research center. At its height, the library housed between 200,000 and 700,000 scrolls, making its collection the most extensive and valuable in the ancient world. Scholars and scientists from across the Mediterranean came to Alexandria to study and collaborate, turning the library into a hub of knowledge and discovery. Access to the library was restricted to scholars and court members, and its importance in preserving and transmitting knowledge was immense. In addition to being a learning center, the library also housed a collection of literary, scientific, and philosophical works, and was a place for intellectual debate and scientific advancement. Unfortunately, the Library of Alexandria suffered several disasters over the centuries that led to its eventual disappearance. In 48 BC, during Julius Caesar's civil war, a devastating fire in the port of Alexandria destroyed part of the library, although the extent of the damage is unclear. Subsequently, during Roman rule and the following centuries, the library suffered further destruction due to looting, fires, and conflicts. By the 4th century AD, the library had ceased to exist as an active entity, and its ruins and collections had mostly been lost or dispersed. Although the exact location of the library remains a subject of debate, the legacy of the Library of Alexandria lives on in history and culture, symbolizing the relentless pursuit of knowledge and the enduring impact of ancient scholarship. The Library of Alexandria remains a symbol of the intellectual and cultural greatness of the ancient world, reminding us of the importance of preserving and valuing knowledge throughout history. Its impact on science, literature, and philosophy continues to resonate, a testament to human aspiration toward understanding and wisdom. Our penultimate wonder transports us to the legendary lands of ancient Babylon, in what is now Iraq. We are talking about one of the most mysterious and enigmatic places of the ancient world, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. It is believed that the Hanging Gardens were constructed around the 6th century BC during the reign of King Nebuchadnezzar II, who ruled the Neo-Babylonian Empire. Although Nebuchadnezzar II himself is known for his vast constructions and embellishments of the city of Babylon, the gardens were, according to tradition, created for his wife Amytis of Media, who longed for the greenery of her homeland. The gardens were famous for their ingenious system of elevated terraces, built on brick structures and supported by columns, which allowed plants to grow on upper levels, giving the appearance of a floating garden over the city. This innovative design was made possible by a complex irrigation system that included pumps and channels to transport water from the Euphrates River to the terraces. Despite their fame, the Hanging Gardens have left few direct archaeological traces. There is no concrete evidence confirming their exact existence or precise location, which has led to many theories and speculations. Some historians and archaeologists suggest that the garden might have been a poetic interpretation or even a myth created to reflect the splendor of Babylon. Over time, the Neo-Babylonian Empire fell, and Babylon was looted and destroyed by the Persians. The gardens were likely abandoned and deteriorated due to invasions, wars, and the passage of time. Today, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon remain one of the great mysteries of antiquity, their story wrapped in legends and their beauty still dreamed of by those who hear their tale. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the Hanging Gardens continue to be a lasting symbol of human ability to create wonders and beautify the world around us. Their legacy continues to inspire imagination and awe, reminding us of the grandeur and mystery of ancient civilizations. Our final wonder is one of the most iconic and enigmatic structures of the ancient world, which has captured the human imagination for millennia, the Great Pyramid of Giza. Built around 2580 BC, the Great Pyramid of Giza is the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world and the only one still standing. This monumental structure was erected during the reign of Pharaoh Khufu, also known as Cheops, from the 4th dynasty of ancient Egypt. The pyramid was designed as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu, with the purpose of securing his passage to the afterlife. With an original height of approximately 146 meters, now 138 meters due to the loss of the outer casing, the Great Pyramid was the tallest structure in the world for nearly 4,000 years. It was built with limestone and granite blocks, and its construction required advanced engineering and a massive workforce. The Great Pyramid is known for its mathematical and architectural precision. The alignment of its faces with the cardinal points and the geometric proportions used in its design are a testament to the sophistication of Egyptian engineering. Its complex internal structure includes several chambers and passageways, with the pharaoh's burial chamber located at the center of the pyramid. Over the centuries, the Great Pyramid has been the subject of numerous studies and explorations. During the Middle Ages and the Islamic period, the pyramid was looted, and its white limestone casing was removed for use in other buildings. However, the core structure has remained relatively intact. Today, the Great Pyramid of Giza continues to be a symbol of the grandeur of ancient Egyptian civilization and a world-renowned tourist attraction. Its mystery and majesty continue to fascinate historians, archaeologists, and visitors from around the globe. The Great Pyramid is much more than an architectural marvel. It is a lasting testament to the ingenuity and ambition of the ancient Egyptians, and a reminder that, despite the centuries and transformations, the wonders of antiquity remain an inexhaustible source of awe and admiration. And so concludes our journey through some of the wonders of the ancient world, each with its own impressive legacy and unique history. From the Hanging Gardens of Babylon to the majestic Great Pyramid of Giza, we have explored the grandeur and mystery of these structures that continue to fascinate us today. But these are not the only wonders left by ancient civilizations. There are many more remarkable constructions and achievements that still await discovery and exploration. If you enjoyed this trip into the past, don't miss the opportunity to join us in an upcoming video where we will continue exploring other wonders of the ancient world and their fascinating stories. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our future explorations. If you enjoyed the video, leave us a comment and share your thoughts on these wonders. Thank you for joining us on this journey to the heart of ancient history. This has been the Cat's Notebook. Until next time.